Oh, life's a beach and then you die. That's why we go ride, 'cause you never know when you're gonna go. Not exactly. What's up, guys? Matt the Greeter. I hit the throttle and my knife slid back in my pocket. My work knife, that is, let's call it. And now I'm aware of it. It's not going to fall out, but I am aware of it. It's in my pocket. It has slid noticeably. It will not fall out, but I'm aware of it. Know what I'm talking about? This is like playing basketball, and you know, your opponent occasionally, you know, if they're getting on your nerves or whatever, you might try to get under their skin a little bit. All right, at the free throw line, you might just start saying something like elbow, yeah, elbow, square to the target, elbow. Maybe you get them thinking about their elbow. Sheesh, what's my free throw form like? Maybe they miss a couple that they would have otherwise hit. I mean, it's just part of it's strategizing. It's playing to your opponent's weaknesses, so they you get a sort of advantage. Well, right now the advantage goes to my distracted nature. Life's a beach, right? So here's a controversial topic that I heard a little bit about today. Never given it much thought. Beach access here in Massachusetts, and the statistic was something like 12% of beaches in Massachusetts have public access, something like that. Is that possibly that puny number? Does that sound like it could be right? Well, at any rate, a great many beaches on the coast of Massachusetts are not for you and me, folks. They are not for us to walk across the sand, gather shells, swim. No, not for us, because in coastal Massachusetts you can buy right down to the tide, I think is how it's referred. So you know, you don't just have a house there. You actually buy right down to the tide. So somebody walking along the beach, no, you can't walk past my you can walk, but you better not sit down. You better not touch any of those shells. Those are mine. I own it. So, you know, the people that tend to live along the shore are the wealthiest people, and which is fine. You can't fault somebody for being wealthy. Certainly not. At all. That's not what I'm getting at. But I'm saying that a percentage of wealthy people don't seem to have any concern for you and me, right? That's all I'm saying. And but however, they do tend to fund certain people in power who make laws, and so sometimes it's very difficult to change laws like that. So you take this past weekend here in Massachusetts, and it was in the upper 90s, mid to upper 90s, with excessive humidity. And no, you can't go swim at those beaches. You got to figure something else out. But those couple of people that own those massive houses there by the beach, they can just lay in the surf and have it all to themselves. So now the controversy and why I can't even take a side is because I don't know where I stand. I am not, nor do I envision myself being wealthy enough to live by the sea, at least in Massachusetts or New England. So that's not the issue at hand here. I'll wait. These guys. So I'm gonna wait till the last possible second to put my blinker on. I'm gonna wait till you put your feet down. So here's the deal. So I'm not gonna be able to afford to live in a place like that, which is fine, right? Because things are gonna work out for me. I believe that it's gonna be fine. I have had enough to eat. I'm gonna, it's fine. Everything's fine. So it's not a money thing that I'm complaining about. But here's the deal. Access to access to beaches is the thing. So do I believe that people ought to have access to the ocean so they can swim and cool off, and that in fact people should have access to a great deal of coastline, as opposed to just the very few public beaches whereupon are crammed thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So I feel like there could be a little space equity. Like, you should be able to take your kids to a beach. We live close enough to the Atlantic Ocean. You should be able to take them to a beach so they can cool off. So I see that side of the coin, certainly. All this coastline, we should be able to use it. The other side of that coin, which makes it difficult for me to formulate a decisive opinion, is that I've worked with people my entire life. All kinds of people. And I have somewhat of a grasp of human nature. So I can envision, if laws were changed so that everybody had access to the beaches of Massachusetts, so we'll say most of the beaches, if most of the beaches became accessible by the public, I feel like they'd be ruined in a short time. Because I've seen human nature in action, and I've seen what people do to good places. They ruin it. So that's the other side of the coin. Now you, my friends in the motovlog community and otherwise, I'm not talking about you, but I think you know who I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about specific people. I'm talking about humans in general, and the way humans take care of nice things. I saw an interesting, it was a collection of memes. It was like one, multi-meme? That's not a thing. It shouldn't be a thing, but let's call it a multi-meme. And it was from the perspective of, it was posted by a First Nations social media person. So somebody with indigenous roots here in America posted that white Americans play on all our sacred spaces. White Americans play on all our sacred spaces. And they showed a collection of, you get guys clinging by their fingertips in their little mesh shorts from the side of a sacred mountain. See people skiing in great numbers and multitudes down the side of what was originally a sacred mountain. People driving jeeps all over sacred rock formations, and in many cases destroying them irreparably. I mean, if you look, even, forget America for a minute, let's talk about one of the most notorious garbage dumps. That would be the base and the sides of Mount Everest. People just go and they just leave their stuff. You say, well, what? It's a grueling I can't carry all of it. Well, you know what? If you can't carry it all, you shouldn't go. You don't just get to leave it for nobody else to deal with. Because now it's a problem with no end. And you're not the only schmedley that's climbed that thing. So get your ego out of your place of residence, and you are one of many people who are littering their stuff everywhere. So what are you doing, Mosquito Joe? I just want to make sure his chemicals aren't leaking up into the cab. You got to come at me. So we're doing the same. We're doing the same work here, Mosquito Joe, the Bug Smasher, and I. We're on the same team. Just have slightly different methods. So you've got chemicals, I've got blunt force. So anyhow, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, life's a beach. But not for you and me. Maybe for some of you. So where do you stand on the issue? Because honestly, like, I was born in Quincy, Massachusetts, and I've lived in Quincy several times. And I see what the beach was once like. You know, if you wanted to go and step on a syringe and walk away with an exotic, you know, infection, or if you wanted to get clocked in the back of the head, you know, when you're just trying to cool off 10:30 at night, sitting, you know, watching the skyline, you know, then that was a place for you. But now it's a lot nicer and it's a lot cleaner, and it does get very crowded, but you can apparently swim in the water. But I don't know. I've certainly have seen people ruin a great number of sacred places, and that just seems to be not your nature, not my nature, but human nature. Maybe I'll leave a link. Yeah. Hey, if I preview this, before I post it, I'm talking to myself right now. Post, well, you know, Michael Jackson, Human Nature, one of the finest songs ever written. And actually, which is also sampled in the background of, what is it, Ain't Hard to Tell, a Nas song from the same album, Illmatic, to which I referred at the beginning of this spiel. So I'll leave a link to Mikey, the finest. That's my chill out song. If I get revved up in the summer, my coworker, Maddie, you need some Human Nature, and she'll just put it on her phone there and cool my jets a little bit, so I get a little less grumpy. Yeah, keep coming out, lady. Jeez, you don't need to. We're not merging onto the highway here. You can just let me pass without coming right behind. Oh, Human Nature, right? And so I will also try to leave a link to Stacey Ryan. I've left links to this song before. Stacey Ryan from Montreal, Canada. Really, really great young singer-songwriter. I hate that term. But anyway, she does a masterful cover. She's performing it with Stacey Ryan. So it's one of those videos, kind of like Band Geeks Bohemian Rhapsody, where she's doing all the parts, and it is magnificent. Really, really good. Really good. I like it almost as much as I like the original. So guys, Human Nature, how do you feel about beaches? And let me know in the comments below. I care about you. Thanks for riding along. This beautiful, it's 77 glorious dry degrees here in Massachusetts. And I will check in with you real soon. Don't forget that sunblock. Bye.